Welcome back to Educator.com's English Grammar course. This lesson is part of our unit on verbs, and it's about perfect tenses. Let's get started. All right, let's begin with an overview. In this lesson, we're going to go over what a perfect tense is and the different kinds of perfect tenses: past perfect, present perfect, future perfect, and irregular perfect tenses, which take some unusual forms. Finally, we're going to look at how to use perfect tenses correctly. All right, to begin with, what is a perfect tense? Well, a verb in a perfect tense describes an action that has already been completed as of the time being discussed. Remember, one meaning of the word perfect is completed. The perfect tenses describe actions that are complete or perfect. They're already done, they're over with. Perfect tenses are usually formed by adding some form of the helping verb to have, and in the case of the future perfect tense, will, to the past participle form of a verb. Let's look at some examples. All right, the present perfect tense. To form the present perfect tense, you add have or has, as appropriate, to the past participle form of a verb. Now, you use the present perfect for several things. First and foremost, you use it for actions that began in the past and are still occurring in the present. They started at some point long ago and they're still going on. So, our example is, I have played tennis since I was young. At some point in the past, I began playing tennis. I still play tennis. Therefore, I have played tennis since I was little. The present perfect is also used for actions that began in the past and have been completed at an unspecified time. It started in the past, it's over now, but we're not sure exactly when. So, in this case, I have looked everywhere for my cat, but I can't find it. The looking happened in the past, it started in the past, it's over now because we're announcing we can't find the cat, but we use the present perfect tense for that. All right, the past perfect tense, similar to the present perfect, is formed by adding had to the past participle form of a verb. You use the past perfect for actions that are already completed before another past time or action. The past perfect tense is what I like to call the past of the past. You're speaking of some point in the past, and as of that point, that action is still already over, already done with. It's perfect as of the past perfect tense. So, I had played tennis for years before I entered my first tournament. Notice that the verb entered is in the past tense. Entering the tournament is in the past, and playing tennis for years is the past of the past. So, the past perfect had played. And similarly, before my 10th birthday, I had traveled to 10 countries. Again, we're talking about the 10th birthday like it happened in the past. The travel happened before that, so past of the past perfect. All right, the future perfect tense. You form the future perfect tense by adding will have to the past participle form of the verb. Now, you use the future perfect tense for actions that will be completed before or by a specific time. As with all future tenses, you're making a prediction about the future, but you're making a prediction about completion, about perfection. So, by noon tomorrow, the sun will have risen high in the sky. Normally, sunrise takes place early in the morning, so by noon, we can confidently predict that the sun will have risen. It will be done rising by noon. Before our vacation is over, we will have visited every country in Europe. Again, if it's on the agenda, if you can predict with some confidence that you're going to do it, you can say, by some future point, the end of the vacation, we will have done this. When you see me next, I will have graduated from college. Again, the graduation is on the schedule, you're on track, so you can say, by this future point, which presumably takes place after the graduation ceremony, I will have graduated. All right. Here's the tricky part: irregular perfect tenses. If a verb has an irregular past participle, it will have an irregular perfect tense. All right, in this case, I have broken many eggs while making omelets. The verb to break is an irregular verb. It has an irregular past participle, broken. And so we have broken many eggs. The pen pals had written many letters to each other before they ever met in person. Again, the verb to write is irregular. It has the past participle written, so it has an irregular past perfect. By next week, I will have seen the new action movie. Again, the verb to see has an irregular past participle, so it has an irregular perfect tense. All right, let's do some examples. Take a look at these sentences and see if you can figure out which perfect tense goes in each blank. I already, some form of give, many gifts. The escaped prisoner, some form of run, 10 miles by the time he was caught. By tomorrow, I, some form of surprise, you with your birthday present. He remembered how she, some form of smile, at him in days gone by. And she, some form of play, the piano for 10 years. Take a good look, pause the video if you need to. And there we have it. I already have given many gifts. Your clue here was already. You're talking about an action that is complete as of now, so have given. The escaped prisoner had run 10 miles by the time he was caught. Was caught is your clue there. We're talking about the past of the past, an event that occurred before a past event. He was caught in the past. The running must have happened before the catching. Therefore, he had run. By tomorrow, I will have surprised you with your birthday present. Your clue here was by tomorrow. This is someone making a prediction about the future. So we use the future perfect tense. He remembered how she had smiled at him in days gone by. Your clues here are remembered and in days gone by. We're talking about the past of the past. He's remembering in the past, but he's remembering an event that was old as of then. So she had smiled. And she has played the piano for 10 years. Again, there's nothing to indicate that we're making a prediction or talking about the past of the past. So we use the present perfect tense, has played. All right. Here's how to use them correctly. Remember what each tense is for. So we're going to do a quick review. You use the present perfect tense for actions that began in the past and are complete, or that began in the past and are still ongoing. You have traveled all over the world. You use the past perfect tense for actions that were already complete before another past time or action, the past of the past. She had been there before he arrived. So we're talking about something that happened before a past event, past of the past, past perfect. And finally, you use the future perfect tense for actions that will be complete before or by a specific time in the future. By tomorrow, there's our clue, you will have won a gold medal. All right, let's do a little more practice with perfect tenses. See if you can figure out which form of the perfect tense goes in each of these blanks. For years now, he, some form of enjoy, cooking for large groups. All my life, I, some form of be, fascinated by dolphins. Before she went to the zoo, she, some form of see, lions only on television. By tomorrow night, the judges already, some form of announce, the winner. Take a good look. Pause the video if you need to. And there we have it. For years now, he has enjoyed. Your clue here was for years now. We're talking about an event that began in the past and is probably ongoing now, so we use the present perfect, has enjoyed. All my life, I have been fascinated by dolphins. Your clue here was all my life, something that began in the past and is ongoing. Before she went to the zoo, she had seen lions only on television. Your clue here was went. We're talking about an event that happened before a past event. So, past of the past, past perfect, had seen. By tomorrow night, the judges already will have announced the winner. Again, your clue here was by tomorrow night. We're talking about an event that will be completed as of a future point, so we use the future perfect, will have announced. All right, see if you can figure out which form of the perfect tense goes in these blanks. The next time you see me, I, some form of find, that pirate's treasure. By the time you get home, you, some form of forget, me. I, some form of miss the bus 3 times already this week. By the time he died, he, some form of write, more than 100 books. And we, some form of drive, 1,000 miles to see you. Take a good look. Pause the video if you need to. And there you have it. The next time you see me, I will have found that pirate's treasure. Your clue here was the next time you see me. Someone is making a prediction about a future event and about something that will be complete as of that event. So, future perfect. By the time you get home, you will have forgotten me. Once again, your clue, by the time you get home. We're making a prediction about a future event and something that's completed as of that time. Future perfect. I have missed the bus 3 times already this week. Your clue here was this week. Someone's talking about their progress so far, so we use the present perfect tense, have missed. By the time he died, he had written more than 100 books. Your clue here was died. Past tense, obviously if someone has already died, that's got to be in the past. And the writing had to have taken place before the death, so he had written. And finally, we have driven 1,000 miles to see you. You know that you were going to be using a perfect tense. There was nothing here to indicate that we were making a prediction or talking about the past of the past, so we use the present perfect, have driven. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching. Educator.com.